Okay, so this class is gonna be kind of inspired by I was doing some qigong the other day, which I think is like this sort of slow movement, like an ancient Chinese kind of movement practice. But so I'm gonna incorporate some of that into today's practice. This little yoga and qigong. Okay. Oh, okay, great. You can see me. Okay, so we're gonna start out in standing pose. And with our hands glued to our side, we're just going to shift the weight from one foot to the other, keeping the knees straight and imagining that we're not moving anything, but maybe the soles of our feet just tipping from one side to the other. The name of today's practice is just kind of playful movement. So just a few more rounds of this sort of penguin situation. I actually am kind of starting to feel something in my thigh muscles. And then we're going to make these movements smaller and smaller until we just reach standing, balanced between the two legs. You can make sure that your heels are directly below your hips. And then we're just going to lift the toes off the ground. And then we're going to press each toe into the ground, seeing if we can lay the toes down one by one. And once the toes are onto the ground, we're going to just imagine gripping the toes into the earth and imagine lifting the arch of the foot off the ground while keeping the heel and the toes on the ground. So it's a really tiny movement, but just imagine you're creating a little pocket of air between the arch of your foot and the ground. And then on an inhale, we're just going to bend the knees a couple times. Do a little bit of shaking. Just sort of like jiggling the nerves here. Great. We're going to place the hands on the lower belly. Middle fingers are touching, maybe pointer fingers touching. We're going to inhale into the hands, holding the breath. And we're going to exhale, maybe even use the hands, press the hands into the belly to squeeze all that air out. We'll inhale, fill the hands up. We'll exhale, squeeze the air out. Making sure that the shoulders are away from the ears here. Inhale, making sure that we're still keeping that energy, holding the breath. Exhale, that energy in the feet. One more breath in and out. We're going to shake the hands. Then it's a little movement coordination thing here. So it might take a couple cycles of this to get used to it, but we're just going to breathe in and touch the middle fingers together and the palms are facing up. We'll breathe in until the hands are at the same level as the elbows. And then we're going to turn the hands over and reach towards the sky. Looking up towards the hands, we're going to take a slight back bend. And then on an exhale, we're going to cactus arms the hands back. And we're going to tip forward. Coming into a forward fold, super bent knees forward fold. And then we'll inhale, slowly roll back up to center. So those are the movements. We're going to try to sync it up until eventually they're synced up to like one breath in all the way into that back bend and hold the breath there. And then we exhale to come down. So we'll just give it a try. So inhaling, bring the palms facing up until they're level with the elbows, then flipping the hands, continuing to reach up, maybe even inhaling all the way up. Hold the breath when your hands are as high as you can go. Take a little mini back bend, holding the breath. And then we'll exhale, cactus the arms behind us, opening up through the chest. Continue that exhale all the way to the bottom until we reach a forward fold, and then just hold the breath out here. And then we'll slowly inhale back up to a stand, curling the spine. Great, so that's one round, and then exhale when you're standing up. So that's one round. Be really mindful here if you get kind of lightheaded or Just pay attention to everything that's going on here. Don't force yourself to do this. But we're just going to try to do 5 rounds of that. So it's a little Qigong inspired move. So we're going to inhale, hands come up, palms facing up. We flip the palms when they're level with the elbows. Continue reaching up, breathing in. Hold the breath when you're fully extended. Slight back bend. Holding the breath. And then we'll exhale, cactus arms, opening up through the chest. Continue exhaling as we move into a forward fold. Hold the breath out. And then we'll inhale, slowly curl the spine up to standing. And then we'll exhale, grounding in mountain pose. Inhaling, maybe bend the knees as we take the palms facing up, flipping them when they're level with the elbows. Continue inhaling as we reach up towards the sky. Hold the breath when you're fully extended. Take a slight back bend. And then we'll exhale, cactus arms behind us. Continue the exhale all the way down to a forward fold. We'll inhale, look forward, and curl the spine up to standing. Exhaling, imagining all the energy shifting down, grounding down when you reach your mountain pose. Inhaling, palms facing up until they're level with the elbows. Then we flip our palms, continue reaching up towards the sky until as long as we can be. Hold the breath here. Slight back bend, looking up. Exhaling, cactus arms behind us. Continue that exhale all the way down to our forward fold. Maybe you start to notice the hamstrings being more open in your forward folds here. Then we inhale, curl the spine, come up to our mountain pose. Exhale, everything settles down. Inhaling, bend the knees, bring the energy up with the hands into the heart. Then we flip the palms, continue reaching up towards the sky. Hold the breath here, and then we'll take a slight back bend, holding the breath, and then we'll exhale, cactus the arms behind us, and then we'll follow that exhale down to the ground, bringing the energy down into a forward fold. Maybe shake the head yes and no in this forward fold, making sure there's no tension in the neck. And then we'll inhale, curl the spine, come up to our standing pose. Exhaling, mountain. And as we inhale and use the hands, it's like we're moving the energy up through the body, and then we're moving the energy down through the body. So that's sort of the purpose of this move. So for the next 2 rounds, really imagine the energy moving up with your hands, and then the energy moving down with your hands. So emptying out the breath. 2 more rounds. We'll bend the knees. Inhale, bringing the hands and the energy up to the heart center, flipping the palms. Continue reaching up towards the sky. Inhaling the deepest breath you can. Hold the breath at the top. Back bend. And then we'll exhale. Cactus arms all the way down to our forward fold. Hold the breath here when we're fully exhaled. And then we'll inhale, curl the spine. Mosey our way into mountain pose, exhaling at the top of the mountain. Hands just dangling at the sides. Great. And we'll inhale, bend the knees. Imagine scooping up the energy, pulling it up all the way into the heart, flipping the palms back facing down. Continue reaching up towards the sky, bringing the energy up through your whole body. At the full extension, maybe take a back bend. And then we exhale, cactus the arms behind us, keeping a slight bend in the knees as we travel down to our forward fold. Exhaling out all the breath. And then we'll inhale, slowly, slow motion, curl the spine up vertebrae by vertebrae to standing. Final exhale here. Maybe we take the hands to heart center in prayer pose, and we'll bow the chin to chest here. Feel the heart beating into the thumbs, maybe. Taking a second here to ground down. So good to start out the practice with just a cycling through of energy, cycling through of breath, cycling through of blood. And if some of this is a little too woo-woo or whatever, that's okay. It's still good to get the blood moving, and that visualization can help you sync up the breath to movement. Great. Taking one more breath here, just of silent contemplation, just letting the breath turn back to normal here. Great. Then we're going to slowly take the hands out in front of us, shake the palms, and we're going to do a little knocking on heaven's door. So taking the hands in loose fists at either side of you, we're just going to twist from side to side, coming onto the toe of one foot as we twist the chest to one side, and vice versa. Staying loose here, but also being very mindful of the shoulders here, you know. And as you twist from side to side, maybe you start to increase the speed. Maybe you go a little deeper with every twist. Maybe you hear a couple pops in the spine. Just attempting to keep the breath somewhat synced up to the body. Continuing this for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly, like a washing machine, become slowly back to center. Well, I'm not sure if that's actually what washing machines do. Great. And we're going to inhale, take the hands over the head. And we're just going to exhale, let the right hand travel down the right leg. The left hand comes over the head. Just a deep side bend. And then on an inhale, we smoothly, like a ballerina, transfer sides. So the left hand is traveling down the left leg and the right hand is reaching over the head. Inhale, switching sides. Exhale into the side bend. Inhale, switching sides. Exhale into the side bend. Inhale, switching sides. Exhale into the side bend. Inhale, switching sides. It's actually a little bit of an Albert. Exhale into the side bend. Inhale, switching sides. Exhale, deepest side bend you've taken all day. Maybe your hands even all the way down your knee. Inhale, we switch sides. And we exhale into the side bend. Great. Come back to center. Maybe you take the hands on the hips and just imagine you're doing some, I actually can't hula hoop, so I don't know if this is what you're supposed to do, but draw big circles with the hips. Maybe you hear a couple pops in there, and at some point, reverse the direction of the circle. This might feel kind of good in the low back if you have kind of a stiff low back today. Then we're going to take the feet together, take the hands on the knees, and draw circles with the knees. Well, the hands a few inches above the knees on the thighs. We'll just draw a couple circles with the knees. This is good for the ankles too. Great. And then we're going to take the fingers. So there's a couple different versions of this. The full extension of this will be, you're imagining taking your middle fingers, pointing up on your lower back, and your heels of your hands reaching towards your butt. And then you imagine just pulling those hands down away from the back energetically. We're setting up for a little tiny back bend here. So you can either do that, or if this is just like way too much for your wrists, you can also just take the middle fingers pointing down towards the butt. So this one has the added benefit with the middle fingers pointing up. It's the added benefit of like a wrist stretch. And I also actually feel like it just supports my lower back a little better, but to each their own. So anyways, take your version of this, taking the feet hip width apart, bend the knees, and then on an inhale, we're going to press the hips forward, squeezing the glutes, and we're going to exhale. Imagine this back bend traveling up through the spine until you're in your version of back bend here, keeping the chin level and looking forward in front of you for 5, breathing in and out, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We, in slow motion, bend the knees, slowly come back up to standing. Maybe you even take the hands back to the knees, curl the spine and look down at the ground. Into the back here. And then from here, we're actually going to take hold with the legs bent. We're going to take hold of right behind the knees, the inner knees. And from here, you're going to imagine just pulling your spine away from your hands. So it's like cat pose, basically. Breathing into your back. You're the highest point. Imagine the highest point on your back is right between your shoulder blades. Breathing into this, looking towards the navel. And exhale, we'll take the hands back to on top of the thighs. And we'll arch the spine this time. Having a nice big banana back. Breathing, looking forward. And then we'll exhale, we'll take the fingertips behind the knees. And take that cat pose again, curling the spine. Looking towards the navel. Or inhale, take the hands on top of the thighs. Switch directions. Maybe you even imagine folding the chest through the hands. And we'll exhale one more round of this. Looking towards the navel. And then we'll inhale, taking the hands on top of the thighs. We'll look in front of us. Great. We'll slowly travel our way up to standing. We're going to inhale, interlace the fingers together, and then we're going to press the palms up towards the sky with the hands laced together. Look up towards the hands. Inhale, come onto the toes and see if you can balance here. It's okay if you have to do a couple tiptoes in either direction, but just get on your toes here. Looking up towards the hand, you can keep breathing here. Keeping the shoulders away from the ears. You're not crunching the shoulders up towards the ears. For 3, 2, and 1. And then we'll travel down to our forward fold. Maybe coming on to the toes, bending the knees generously and laying the belly across the thighs. Shake the head yes and no. Breathing into the back here. Allowing the blood to drain into the head. Your hands can be wherever they are. Really up onto the toes here so the heels are far away from the ground in this forward fold. And then on an exhale, we'll just set the heels down, coming into a deeper forward fold here. Still keeping the knees really bent if that's what you need to do to keep the spine straight. Remembering that the most important part of a forward fold is actually a straight back. Because if we're curling the spine, we're not really getting the stretch of the hamstrings. We're just curling the spine. So keeping the spine nice and straight, the weights in the toes here. Maybe you interlace the arms so that the hands are in the elbow creases. And then you can shake the head yes and no. And imagine that you're in child's pose right now. Tuning back into that breath. You can slowly straighten the legs as you're here. Deepening the hamstring stretch. Prescribing your own hamstring stretch actually. So just go as far as it feels good. So where you feel a stretch, but it's not painful. We're going to take 5 breaths here. Beginning. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. We'll bend the knees super generously and roll our way back up into standing. Maybe you even get a little pop in the lower back. I did. Great. Take your time check. Great. And then you can just do a couple ankle circles coming onto standing on one of the feet. Ankle circle in one direction. And you can place the foot on the ground. Take the opposite foot up. Ankle circle in one direction. place the foot down, take the opposite up, ankle circle in one direction, and then we'll wrist circle the opposite hand, and then the other direction. For an added challenge, you can try to make the hand go in the opposite direction as the foot. It's really hard. And then place the foot back on the ground. Inhale, take up the opposite leg one more time. We'll ankle circle, take the opposite hand and wrist circle, and then try to change directions. And for an added challenge, if you want to, you can imagine trying to make the hand go in an opposite direction as the foot, and then switching directions one more time. It's really good for your brain to do that. Then you can place both feet on the ground and just give your body one more good shake. Great. And then we're going to come down to a seat finally. Nice. Just a cross-legged seat, or really whatever is comfortable for you. You can be sitting on your knees here. We're going to do a couple different pranayamas or breath practices here. So since I feel like sort of the theme of today is playful, energetic, but still gentle movement, we're going to do some breath of fire to begin with. So you're going to breathe out, exhale all of your breath. And remember, you stay aware if you get lightheaded or something while you do this, you can just switch back to normal breathing. Breathe out all your air. Inhale, deep breath in. Fill up your belly. And then we're going to use forceful exhales and passive inhales. So if you want to feel your belly as you do this, it should be like. So if you want to hold on to the belly, you can, or you can take the hands out at either side in fists with the palms facing up. Anyways, I'm sure that you need to let go of that breath that you're holding right now. So go ahead and exhale. And then you can inhale. Sitting up nice and tall, you can either focus on a point on the ground in front of you or close your eyes. And we'll begin for a cycle of 25, starting now. Exhale all your breath. Hold the breath out. Inhale. Hold the breath in. And exhale, sigh it out. You can be making those forceful exhales through the nose, or if you're a little stuffed up and you're worried of a snot rocket happening, you can also make an O with the mouth and make the forceful exhales through the O. Great. We're going to inhale and do a round of 50 this time. So exhaling all the breath out, inhaling the breath in, and let's begin. Exhaling all the breath out. Inhale. Hold the breath in and sigh it out. Exhale. Great. And then we're going to do one more round. You can either go to 75 and then stop, or you can try to go to 100 if you are feeling very ambitious. So we're making those exhales as forceful as we can and as fast as we can. And just as you're doing this, imagine that you're expelling out something that you want to let go of, or expelling out some like negative emotion or some annoyance or something that's bothering you, if you want to. So go ahead and exhale all the breath out. Remember, you can always stop at 75 or whatever number you need to. And then we're going to inhale together. And we'll begin. Exhale all the breath. Inhale. Hold the breath at the top. Open the eyes. Exhale slowly. Just like in those exhales in mountain pose at the beginning of class, we're settling everything down to the bottom of the glass from the exhale. Okay, I have no idea, how that was for you. I'm looking forward to hearing at the end of class, but that was pretty hard for me. We're going to take the hands together, interlacing the fingers, and just do a couple wrist circles. We're encouraging the pops here, as long as it's not painful. And then we're going to switch which finger is on top and continue just those like wrist circles. Maybe even pause somewhere if it feels good. We're going to take the hands interlaced behind the head. Imagine pulling the elbows towards the wall behind you to open up through the chest, sitting really straight up and tall. Inhaling here. And then we'll exhale, curl the spine, letting the elbows come around either side of the head. Squeeze the head, looking towards the navel. We'll inhale, open up through the arms. Squeezing out the breath with an exhale, squeezing the elbows around the head. Chin to chest. One more round. Inhaling, opening up the arms. Exhaling, coming back to center. Great. And for the final breath practice today, by the way, if you need to here, you can switch which leg is crossed, just to keep the sides kind of even. The final round of our breath practice today, we're going to do like a ratio breathing. So basically that's where you breathe in for a certain count, hold it for a certain count, exhale for a certain count, and hold the exhale out for a certain count. So let's just start out with inhaling 5 in, holding the breath for 3, exhaling 7 out, holding the breath for 3. So we'll do 5 rounds of that. So exhale all your breath. And then we're going to inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold the breath now for 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold the breath for 1, 2, 3. So that's 1 round. So, okay. We're going to begin for real this time. So 5 rounds of that. So exhaling everything. We'll inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. 1, 2, 3. We'll exhale. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull the breath out for 1, 2, 3. Inhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 7, 5, 4, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. 1, 2, 3. Inhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. 1, 2, 3. Inhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. 1, 2, 3. Inhale. Final round. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 7, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. 1, 2, 3. Inhale. Okay, so for our Shavasana today, we're just going to come up with our own ratio, or if you hated that, you don't have to do it. You can just take long, slow, even breaths. But we're going to just find a ratio that works for us. It doesn't have to be that 5373. It can be any number, the longer the better. So we're going to pick our own ratio and end practice today with 5 breaths of our own ratio silently. Hands at heart center or palms on the knees, or you can even take a mudra, which is basically you can take the OK sign, and you can just take the backs of the hands to the knees here. So whatever hand position you want to take. We're going to take a second and reground. Centering, imagining the tailbone is a magnet. And we're a plant growing out of that seed / magnet in the ground. Exhaling all the breath. And begin with your 5 breaths of contemplation at your own pace. I will say something when it's time to come out of this meditation. Beginning. Take your final breath in silence. And we'll slowly allow the breath to come back to normal, keeping the eyes closed. Imagine in this final moment of keeping the eyes closed, a soft beam of sunshine just like traveling down from the crown of the head down through the body into the base of the spine. Just being this nice, warm, comforting presence, relaxing you as it travels down through the body. Softening your organs and your tissues, traveling down through the legs. And then we'll take the hands to heart center. Take one more inhale together. Exhale, bow chin to chest. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste. Blink the eyes open.
Namaste.